been looking forward to this for a very long time.
It's been a long one in the making.
We talked about it for a year at least.
Yeah, I know. And we always the beautiful thing about you three is I've always had amazing conversations with you about the aliens topic and the whole like extraterrestrial kind of, thing. And you are so enthusiastic about it that I'm just happy to be able to have all three of you on at once. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And we've got that 6 degrees as well. We haven't actually talked about this, but Jack, like, it still blows my mind that you know Bill.
Oh, yeah.
And vice versa, I have no doubt. Like, that's so wild. When you said Jack Shan, I'm like,
huh?
Black Jack?
Yeah.
That, really? Jack Shan? And you're like, yeah, man, we've known each other since we were in primary school. I'm like,
legit.
What?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What do you mean? Because, like, Bill and I went to high school together.
Yeah.
And then you and I met through mutuals and the missus and all of our other friends. Like, we have our own friendship circle.
Oh,
and then we started a fucking company together.
Yeah.
and then I've always loved and adored Bill Vlahos. Like, I still quote this guy to this day. He's got some of the funniest lines from high school.
What did I do?
What did I do? Kill me, man. There's this famous line. I've said this to death for you. I'm sorry. I had to say it one more time for the.
I already know what it's going to be.
I know what it is. To this day, I now steal it. It's mine. I say it when everyone's like, I'm like, oh man, I'm starving. All I've had for breakfast this morning is toothpaste and air.
You got to make sure you brush your teeth every morning, guys. That's the principle of it.
He said that in high school, and it's like 15 years later. I'm still fucking dying from that. It's
Bro,
so funny.
I'll never forget when I first said that. Like Alistair, the big Alistair,
he
was in stitches. He was dead, bro.
Yeah, we were dying.
I was like, I don't even understand half the shit I say. I'm not even trying to be funny, bro.
No,
Yeah,
that's what makes it funny. Exactly. That's what makes it deathly funny, man.
It's your delivery. It's like, some people can just always say something and it's funny, but the way you deliver it, it's like, that's a pretty simple line, but it's so funny.
My favorite people in the world are the sleepers. The ones that don't say much, but when they do, it's just they send it. It's a home run.
Dude, straight up. Or like, who can do dry sarcasm? Like, like Norm Macdonald.
I love Norm, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
good.
Thank you.
He could just say anything and it's funny because of that dry.
Bro, I fucking love Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he was an inspiration. When he passed away, I was so sad.
Yeah, so sad.
Yeah. I was like, no.
Yeah.
But he was such a trooper that he had cancer for fucking ages and he just never said anything.
Yo, that's like Boseman.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, Chadwick. That's
Chadwick
that
Boseman.
too.
Yeah, just Wakanda forever,
Yeah.
but cancered and like just didn't say shit.
Zipped his mouth and he's
Yeah.
just like, you know what, this is my fucking battle. I'll sort it out. I'll deal with it myself.
That's
Whatever happens. And
Stoic fucking
100%.
bravery right there. That's
And
crazy.
He was peak of his game too. Like,
I
he was just
know.
coming out with so much good shit.
I know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible
R.I.P.
tragedy.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
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 I'd pour some drink out, but I don't know where to pour it
But
out.
death is not the end.
Well, that's
my
exactly
friend.
right. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not the end. It's the beginning for the
Yeah.
next chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, when my godfather passed away from COVID. So I don't know if any of you know this. I know Josh, you would know this,
know
but
this,
my godfather was the 10th person in Australia to pass away from COVID.
Okay.
And it was so new and terrifying that we made the news. Like, my cousins were interviewed, and it was a really intense moment because, like, someone so close to us passed away, and then we're getting cameras shoved in our face. Like, no, I say ours, obviously theirs. And I think the belief in, this topic genuinely got me through it because it's opened my mind up to, like, at least maybe it was a healing process, or if it was just a defensive mechanism, whatever you would refer to it as. But I found solace in going, there is more out there. Like, there's just more out there, and this is just stage one of what is life. Life in this realm. The third, what do they call it? The plane, third dimension, whatever.
Plane of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know it sounds so crazy, but like, it really did help me. It really helped me sort of feel okay about it because, we all have our coping mechanisms, and loss is a really intense thing. And he was not just my uncle; he was my godfather. And in Sri Lankan culture, that's a big thing. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
And it really sort of made me feel a lot better. Like, it really made me feel okay and at peace about it because I was like, cool, his journey's just started.
Exactly right. And
Yeah.
you know what they say, that the soul weighs like 28 grams. It's an ounce. When I, my auntie passed away, I think 2 years ago, and I was there with her when I physically, I felt like her body, her soul leaving her body and then like rising, and like how a body that has some form of consciousness and then loses it, and like where that consciousness goes. It just makes me think that maybe, you know, we're here, right? We don't know how many times that our spirit has, you know, been recycled or has come back, but we might forget everything from our previous lives. But I strongly believe that the soul just doesn't disappear. Like it goes somewhere else, like back to maybe like a spawn point or something. And then it's like, how good were you? You know, you got like the Egyptian gods weighing your soul. Like
you got your GDA stats. How many hookers did you kill?
Not enough, damn it.
Yeah, they're just like, maybe you get another shot, Mr. Serial Killer. You're not really there yet.
You want to take this off the deep end real quick?
Why not?
So one of my because the more you dive into this topic, there's just so much. You start at like, are aliens real? And then it just opens up into so many avenues of this. What is this thing, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is the idea that we are being harvested for our souls.
Oh, that's the Scientologist.
Not
Isn't
quite.
it?
No. So the whole idea. So I spend this much time on a lot of topics because I'm like, what am I going to dive into, and what can my tinfoil hat really handle today? So the whole idea is that we are like just food, right? And energy is the source of food for this. Let's just say this like reptilian race. I told you we're going deep, right? We're going deep end real quick.
Doesn't sound that deep to me, bro.
They're one level. I mean, they're one of them.
Yeah. So this reptilian race actually feeds on negative energy.
Reptoids.
Right? So
it's like Monsters Inc. with the doors.
That's why they've shape shifted and in what's the word I'm looking for? Forgive me. In fucking work their way in.
Indoctrinated?
Not indoctrinated. Infiltrated.
Infiltrated
humanity, and they're just, they're the puppets making sure that things suck, wars and famine and greed,
and the media's always pumping negative
and
stuff.
everyone just feels shit, right? Everything sucks. So this is feeding them. They're like, cool, this is our food, and one of those sources of food is the soul, right? So they want people to die very quickly, and a lot of it, so they can eat the soul.
And that makes them stronger.
I don't think that's entirely far fetched, because the more you kind of look at the world today and you kind of go, okay, there's trillions of dollars, literally trillions of dollars that could be pushed towards solving any single problem. It's not being done at all.
Exactly.
There's a perpetuated war economy and like poverty economy and
the amount
dependency.
The amount of money that America sent to Ukraine could have solved their homeless crisis and helped like
that's money laundering 101. That's not for Ukraine winning against Russia. That's a proxy war, and
that's
while we're doing it,
why do you think Lockheed Martin
stocks?
Lockheed Martin stocks has gone through the roof.
That's all mob activities. That war. It's all mob activities.
100%.
Yeah. No, that is the most. We're all getting behind putting the freaking Ukrainian flag in our bios, and I'm like, I don't think you understand what's going on. You're like reading the headlines and being like, yeah, Ukraine. I'm like, no, this is
the same people that put the Ukrainian
filthy.
or had the COVID one like the year before. I was just like, okay, well, this is this year's thing to get a part of.
It's all information control stuff. You're getting drip fed something that's could be completely manufactured.
It is. Like my most recent favorite one is Kamala Harris. Like 10 seconds ago, the Democrats hated her. They were like, "Oh my God, you suck!" And then now she's like the poster child for obviously the Democratic Party, the DNC, and it's like, wait, didn't you guys hate her 10 minutes ago? Like, what's going on here? Now she's everything. And by the way, you were Indian and now you're black.
Yeah, legit. Like, what's going on?
And it's just, to your point, it's just like whatever you want the narrative to be. It's just they force feed it. And it's like, it's the media in America. And it's so weird because like, I find myself so like addicted to American anything.
America's the best TV show ever, and 2024 is the best year
I'm that
I've ever
black
seen.
guy on the couch just eating popcorn. Like
I don't blame you.
I'm there for
I think
it,
we're
right?
all
It's just
kind
a
of doing that at the
shit show.
moment. Like,
and when they're so convinced they're the greatest country in the world, I'm like, you are delusional. Like you're a shit show. This is a shit show, and it's so transparent. Like we watch you from like a distant lens, and I'm like, you guys understand we can see through all of the bullshit. Like you can pump the media for your own country as much as you want, but from our lens looking out, especially if you switched on enough to look at it analytically and critically, you're like, this is the definition of psyop all day long. How do we convince you? This is Operation Mockingbird, like CIA infiltrating all of the biggest news conglomerates and having every single say for what is said ever.
And all the movie studios as well.
Yeah.
And predictive programming 101.
Yeah, big time.
100%.
Yeah, and so like behavioral control through entertainment is a really big thing. I think it's becoming really strong and apparent now.
It is.
To that point, this is why I think they bombarded us with Marvel for like 15 years.
Yeah.
They're getting us ready for the aliens. I guarantee it.
See, they can't just drop it. Like, they have to desensitize us first before they say, release the aliens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's get real. Let's do the aliens, bro.
Yeah. Hot tour girl. Shout out though. I think I've got a diagram to show you that puts everything we just explained into some sort of perspective or a hierarchy.
Beautiful.
I mean, I can give you a glimpse of it now if you like.
Of course. Would you like?
Nah, this mouse sucks.
Unfortunately, we won't see it in high res because you got to buy the high res one. I do have it.
Come on,
type in world hierarchy pyramid.
World hierarchy pyramid.
Yeah, watch your mind will be blown. That's the one. Yeah, so if you're looking, we're starting from the bottom here. Okay, so here we are. So we've got a lower level here, which is essentially the hierarchy system as it pertains to the mundane world, what you can actually see, corporations. The highest being, if you're kind of a commoner, or used to the common hierarchy, you probably think the highest level of control is like the UN and NATO and all these other factors which are out of your control, but they control world politics, they control resource allocation, they control so many different things, including entertainment. So Hollywood is also filtered in there. Also things like the UFC and football are like considered distractions, like sports from like larger issues.
Just like the Colosseum back in the day.
Yeah.
This is like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift was this big thing, got all of her fans to watch the NFL, and then it was a political statement at the end, vote DNC.
No
and
shit.
like, of course it was connected.
No shit.
Like, fabricated and all bullshit.
The many millions of dollars you get for like 5 seconds of airtime.
It's all money.
It's crazy. But beyond this, which labeled beyond the veil of ordinary perception, we start moving into some of the stuff that is spooky, the cartels, black market. You even talk about BlackRock because this is a corporation.
Group.
Yeah, yep, definitely in there.
They own everything now.
And you even have breakaway aspects of like older religious organizations. Also the Freemasons, Jesuits. And look, some of those names you probably never even heard of, but they're more or less interlinked. They're not all on the same side. They are very much concerned with like control, information control, dissemination.
Where's the Black Eye Club?
Bohemian Black Eye Club. What?
Have you seen these?
Get punched in the eye. Join the club.
It's politicians and actors and celebrities. They're all like will rock up to something with a black eye.
Yeah,
why?
Yeah, I've seen that. It's the Eye of Ra thing apparently.
The Eye of Ra.
Yeah, it's a whole another discussion.
And you can it's the surface level Google. Like you'll find it. It's wild.
Yeah, wow.
There's so many people with black eyes. Like what's going on here? You're all falling into doors coincidentally. What the fuck are you doing?
Some kind of weird surgery. Some sort of ritual or weird surgery.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
But yeah, this is very strange. I mean, this is the point where people would start to roll their eyes and start to go like, "What the fuck?"
Conspiracy and this and that. Like, just deny it.
Yeah. Like, oh, what happened to the Nazis? It's like they were defeated. No, they went to South America.
Yeah, they're all in Argentina.
They legit went to Argentina, bro.
Long life. It's 75.
Yeah, big time. Whole bunch of other stuff, man. You got the Rothschilds in there. But yeah, so this is Masonic orders or that Masonic orders which are kind of connected to other aspects, right? But beyond this, we start moving into very interestingly the very source of control, the Vatican, and aspects of that. But this is that thing about
it's not letting me go up.
It's not going up.
Wait.
Use that
They're
on
trying to
the
stop me, the
side.
deep state.
Yeah,
They're trying to stop me, mate.
That's it. So we were discussing about the pineal gland, and central to the control or understanding.
There's the pine cone.
There's
Oh,
the
yeah,
pine
right
cone.
in the
There's
middle.
pine cone.
Which you see
Yeah.
in so many walled,
Ayahuasca
chiseled,
was giving me-
fucking
yeah.
like hieroglyphic things. It's just this pine cone.
It's central, and so why the Vatican and like the religious order is at the very top of this is that they control the dissemination of who can see the outer realms of reality or the inbuilt powers we do have. So the ability to look beyond reality is the pineal cone. It's the pineal gland for those that don't know. And so the Vatican's very concerned with this. Within this circle, you have some of the more like deeper satanic orders. When I mean satanic, they don't mean like satanic as in the Christian idea, but it's the idea of like holding things to material, controlling the material world and like the negative energy. And this starts getting into that discussion you were talking about before. And you're probably thinking like, why is there this other stuff like samurai, daimyo, shogun, all this kind of stuff? There are also certain orders similar to like the Masonic order who are not religious, but they are oligarchical families. Like, you know, like you were talking about the Russian oligarchs, we've heard of them. But you also have these like very ultra wealthy strongholds, kind of like the ninjas in Daredevil. You know, what are they called? The hand. Stuff like that.
The hand,
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. It's all quite interlinked. It's quite dark.
These are all like the most powerful families and like
Yeah.
the I guess the people that have been in power for
This would
thousands
actually-
for millennia.
Yeah. And so they're very concerned with bloodlines at this level. So
Yeah,
those who say we
the
were
Merovingian bloodlines.
Merovingian, we were the original descendants of Jesus. We have a right to rule. That's where all kings stem from. That's why Pharaoh is at the very top there, because the oldest secret
Makes
societies
sense.
come from like the most ancient texts of ancient Egypt and all that stuff.
And the people that have that knowledge are these people because they were the people in power.
Yep.
So they passed down the knowledge to their bloodlines and then kept the plebs at bay,
Yep.
with throwing them bread and
Yep.
water or whatever, just, you know, keep their bellies full and keep their brains entertained with bullshit. And
Yeah.
She be right, mate.
That's it. That's
It's
it.
hectic.
And
I love what you're doing right now. It's amazing. I just want you,
Very articulate.
Yeah,
Really cool.
Cheers! I actually
Beautiful,
I
bro.
spent a good week kind of trying to get an understanding of this.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
I'm actually giving the most like broad strokes on this explanation. There's so many strange names there. What the fuck are the werewolf clans? But you've also got the Saudi oligarchs there as well, and the royal families and stuff. So
Oil pumpers.
Yeah. See, the Islamic side are not are more or less decentralized. They're not
Yep.
like the Vatican. They don't have a central order. There's many different families, and they could be killing each other for power. Whole different thing there.
The Middle East has always been quite destabilized. I think America wanted that.
Yeah.
Well, basically, the people, like, the way I see it is the Crusades never stopped.
Yeah, they never stopped.
They never stopped, and that's why the Middle East is so, you know, destabilized at the moment, because the Christians, they want that.
Yeah.
They want the Muslims to be like that.
Yeah.
Because this shit never stopped.
Never stops. But if you're at this level,
These bloodlines.
there's bloodlines. If you're at this level, you're kind of wise to the game, though. Like you know what's
for
up.
sure.
And it's hiding
It's
in
like a
plain
giant
sight.
game of chess, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell
Yeah.
you the definition of hiding in plain sight. So I can see here there is Saudi Aramco. Aramco is
Huge, bro.
Yeah.
it's literally a giant sponsor on the wing of a Formula One car.
It is.
It's like right there.
Aramco's super massive.
Aramco, yeah. I thought it was a car company when I saw it.
That's I believe it's oil.
It's oil. Yeah,
Yeah,
oil,
it's
petrol.
it's like the biggest oil company owned by the Saudi Crown
Yep.
Prince.
Yep.
Trillion dollar company, man.
And they've got a stranglehold on world resources.
Big time.
And so even though we have oil in our country, plenty of it, it's like, no, you got to get it from these guys.
Exactly.
Yeah. First. But
Yeah, Australia's got plenty of oil. We've got
Yeah.
plenty of gas, but we send all the gas to China,
Yeah.
and then they charge us like 100 times more than what we should actually be paying.
yeah, it's crazy.
And we could have nuclear energy, which will make it cheap. You could just set up the nuclear power plants in Alice Springs, or somewhere super far away, where even if there was a nuclear explosion, it probably wouldn't even affect Melbourne.
Yeah.
But because it happened once, they put the fear of God and like, oh, it could Chernobyl us. So then, never do it. France has nuclear power. American has like shitloads of nuclear power. And now they're reinvestigating into nuclear power because AI demands so much power that they essentially, to have an AI like megastructure, they're going to have a nuclear power plant right next to it just to be able to afford to get that much energy into it. Like you're gonna have to run a nuclear power plant right next to like a Microsoft data center, essentially,
or figure out quantum computing. Things
that
like that
too. Yeah,
Google just did that. They've got this like incredible quantum computer that they were just. I mean, like maybe 3 months ago, I was seeing it do the rounds, and I was like, oh shit, fucking. That's what you're.
It looks so dope though. Those things look dope as fuck.
Oh, it's crazy, and they're getting smaller too. Just crazy.
Yeah.
So it could be here, it could be there. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because what, 40 years ago, the 70s, there was like room-sized computers that were like on kilobytes.
Yeah.
And now we're room-sized quantum computers.
We have cracked 1 megabyte, sonny.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
And we can go to the moon,
yeah, well, we can't go to the moon now, bro.
All right, Jack, take us on this journey.
Yes.
So let's go down a little bit. Well, that's the saucy one. We're not going there yet.
Oh, cool.
But they've got to explain this level to get to that one.
Done.
So, all right. So we mentioned earlier, like at the bottom left, spiritual law, pineal gatekeepers.
Ooh, pineal gatekeepers.
Yeah. So for a lot of religious orders, the Abrahamic religions, we got the Jewish, Christian, Islamic. These are like the 3 main sources of spirituality in the world.
Yep.
The buck stops here if you're anyone who is considered spiritual. It's like you cannot see God unless you speak through us. That's always been the order, especially in the medieval times. You get killed if you do it otherwise.
Yep, that's right.
And so this, like you said earlier, these organizations are not gone. They've just rebranded into the modern era, and they control through other means like entertainment and politics and us versus them, like propaganda through social media. They can use anything, but it's all controlled by very dark, clandestine operations that exist underneath and above all this stuff. So, like, the Vatican owns so much stuff, right?
Oh, bro. They've got probably all the important ancient scrolls of Library of Alexandria before they burnt it to a crisp.
And more. That's just one.
Why did you do that to the Greeks there?
Dude, the door handle for the Vatican's like archives is just the Sphinx's nose.
The Sphinx doesn't need it. Fuck.
Honestly, I think they probably took what was under the Sphinx as well as
most
the Great
likely.
Pyramid.
Most likely.
I think they would have breached that long ago.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But it's another story. But as we get to the top of this layer, which is crazy,
this bit here. Would you like me to?
So just that middle, the intermediary there. So we've got the pharaoh.
Yep.
Yeah. So these are where all the bloodlines lead. This is where they're the source of human contact between us and beyond is here. So the Pindar is center because that's meant to be like the one like super like world leader who it comes down to. That will actually be the intermediary between humans and ET.
Wow. So that's what the Pindar is.
That's why it's center there. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can notice the chess pieces. We got the king and queen as well. So mothers of darkness are kind of like a satanic order of female kind of witches and that kind of stuff. So even those like dark mother figures, those dark figures are also like apparent there. So it's not just men like ruling some world here, but it's like a dark brotherhood of many.
Interesting.
They pretty much are the intermediary between this and the off-world stuff. Yeah.
So you got the Antichrist there, you got black magic, you got witches and warlocks. It's like all the mythical stuff that they've pretty much said, it's all bullshit folklore.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
A lot of people still practice that shit, dude.
Here's the thing: the rituals are not. Magic, as we know it, is not magic like hocus pocus, like let's make things disappear or Harry Potter type stuff. Magic is
not David Blaine or whatever he is.
David Blaine is a good example. So illusion is magic. So if you can trick a lot of people and you can essentially guide world history, it's more powerful than shooting fireballs out of your hands.
That's right.
If you can control the course of human advancement
through illusion,
through means such as advertising, like you can manipulate through without even lifting a finger. You can manipulate through screens. It's magic. It's manipulating.
Who in the 1800s would have ever thought that even this would be possible?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
this was all deemed magic.
Yeah,
just 100 years ago.
Yeah, big time. And look, more so, it's like the more you look into it, you realize that it's all around you, and if you can tap into certain things. I mean, nothing to speak of the pineal gland. I mean, it's a whole other discussion, but
it's definitely important to make sure it's decalcified at least.
Absolutely,
because that is a great tool for intuition and like accessing psychoactive compounds like DMT, which is found in like the acacia bark, which the ancient Aborigines talk about, and they were accessing it through burning the bark in ancient ceremonies. Then you got Peruvians that have been doing ayahuasca for God knows how long.
Yeah, that's
10,000 plus years.
That's
and they were accessing, using the pineal gland as an antenna.
Yep.
But, a lot of people don't know about that because in the whole world, there's 8 billion people, right? But only 5 million people have done ayahuasca.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just like fuck all people have done it.
Yeah. I mean, this stuff was kept secret to only a few who were
exactly. And those people were
for it.
systematically killed through time if they were found out to be, the people that passed on the knowledge of good and, this kind of stuff, they had to hide.
Yeah.
They had to hide for millennia because they were targeted. Because that was a tool that, if the masses found out about that earlier, could have shifted the whole game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Take us through it.
Okay. So feel free to interject any time, guys. I don't want to.
Nah, man. We're a passenger on this train.
Yeah, 100%.
I just thought I'd leave a good background for anyone who's trying to explain ET, not in the sense of hocus pocus and ghouls and goblins, but there's something that actually exists and actually has a background and has an interaction with human culture. So the Pindar is like our sort of main. You guys looking? Where are you guys looking? You guys looking at that camera?
No. I'm looking at you. Maybe
true.
do you want to come a bit more?
I don't know. I just don't know where to look. Am I looking in the right area? So here we are, pretty much at that layer, that final layer before we have contact with ET, and the contact with ET, as described even through ancient texts, is that it wasn't something that happened yesterday. This is something that's happened since our genesis. There's many speculations as to whether or not they created us or we met them at a later point and they had genetic engineering on us. That's a whole discussion. I'm not tied to any idea, but I am open and I am willing to read up on this if it's mentioned
100.
more than twice.
Yeah, I actually find myself a little bit more convinced in one thing more than any of the theories, and that is truly just accelerated genetic evolution.
Yes.
And the lineage of the Anunnaki.
Yep.
That's what the Sumerians talk about.
Yeah, and the fact that we're actually just like the people that know. There's famously Jimmy Carter found, like, someone told him and he cried for 3 days. Like, famously, he was just a mess. This is the president of the United States during the 80s or 70s or whatever. Yeah. And he was famously found to be just like, he like lost all meaning he was scared. And we don't know what he read. We just know what actually, I take that back. Recently, we found out, I wish I had it with me, but I'll go for a dig while you guys chat. But essentially, the whole idea is that we're nothing. Like, humanity in itself is just...
We're just here slaves to mine gold.
Essentially, we are just someone else's play toy. And all of the bullshit in between that we get to do is just to occupy us while we're still doing the thing for the higher powers that be, essentially. And and it was worse. So now, I suppose, just with evolution and us figuring things out, you can't necessarily stop us from just like picking gold constantly. We have to do other things. But ultimately, it just comes down from the fact that we're disposable.
Yeah, and
very disposable.
I think the explanation of that comes really strongly in the story of the Anunnaki and the kind of split between Enki and Enlil. Yeah.
Yes.
One
of them falling in love with a human and procreating,
and
then there
being
was
banished.
The giants. So that led to the giants.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the giants became
These
more
are
or
the
less
fallen angels that they.
That is the lineage of that story. The whole fallen angel thing.
Yeah.
There's we can have a whole other topic on genetic giants and finding bodies that are like 8 feet tall and things like that in the Americas. Definitely. It's a whole like there's whole groups of people we don't even scarcely realize.
There's that famous incident with the redhead and the army members, the infantry that found. I just was scrubbing up on this like days ago.
Sounds crazy.
But essentially, just these Marines were trying to find a unit that wasn't like replying back, so they went on a hunt for them.
Yeah,
and then they found them, and they were in front of this cave essentially, and there was just like pieces of their equipment, and they were like, something happened here, and out of nowhere, this like 9 foot tall red-headed giant spears one in the back, and then they end up gunning it down. They kill it.
Yeah.
And we only know this story from people that were... one person that was in that unit has come forward and fully anonymously, and then it's the pilots of the plane that had to transport the body have come forward and were like, this happened. Like, we had this giant. They go into intimate detail. They describe the 6 fingers and 6 toes.
6 fingers, yeah.
They describe the smell, like just the scent on this thing was just obnoxious,
horrendous. Yeah,
and it's just there's just a lot of very intimate details about the story. Now, again, grain of salt, but it's still fascinating that we still have these stories.
Yeah,
because we the royal we in this room know that there is at least the theory of the Anunnaki. So the possibility of this even existing, and then finding these, not necessarily evidence-filled, enriched stories of giants, but nonetheless they exist. Okay, so why do we have military, personnel saying that they've... And this is just one example of giants. There's stories of the Australians. A couple of Australians, they were in Afghanistan, and famously... one of them looked through their scope and he thought a group of, civilians were sitting around a campfire, but he noticed that their bodies were in line with the tree line. And he's like, is that a group of people? And he looks closer and he notices that the group of people start to move, but the group of people are moving together in line with the trees. And he does a bit of a distance calculation and he's like, those trees are like 12 feet tall. What is that moving? And lo and behold, sort of cleared some of the area, became a little bit more obvious, and he noticed like the legs doing this, and he's like, "Oh my god, that's a person, I guess."
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of these. Just, I mean, they're all stories, and it's all
it's like on
grain of
Jordan.
salt, but still they exist, and they exist.
Petra.
For why would they exist?
Yeah.
Why?
Folklore.
Everything has everything. I mean, I suppose that's the belief system of people, though, right? That goes into the idea of like, what am I willing to believe?
Yeah.
And that was my aha, come to Jesus moment with this whole topic, is that, you start to look into one thing and you have to be open-minded to begin with. But then you look into one thing and you find your level of woo, and then you sort of cross that line a couple of times looking into a few other things. But then as you're doing this, you're progressively just becoming more and more open. Now, you'd hope that you consider yourself, like I consider myself, switch the fuck on. Like, I'm not going to let anyone tell me I'm a dumb person because I believe things or I look into things like that you might not. Therefore, your ego is saying to yourself, to make yourself feel better about what you believe the reality of the world is, that I'm an idiot for believing this. I disagree. I think you're stupid because you're not willing to actually be critical and open-minded to think
my whole high school
maybe
experience.
there's more than this. Like, just the tangibility of this table doesn't mean that this is all that has to exist. And the idea of our education system,
You
like
believe
what
a
I learned in
structured
school,
narrative.
is the only thing that can exist.
Exactly.
Like,
Well, yeah.
a
It's safe.
smart person is an open-minded person because you're willing to, disseminate information on your own accord, use your environment, using your own skill, using your own confidence with what you know and what you're willing to accept. And then finding solace in an answer. And maybe you don't always come to an answer, but at least you're willing to look.
Exactly.
At least you're willing to absorb. So, looping this back into the giants, like, yeah, it's grain of salt. It's like, it could exist, but I'm not above thinking that it doesn't. Like, I think that it needs to be explored, heard, listen to these stories, take them for more than this face value of...
Well, there's people that are dwarfs, right? And dwarfs have been noted for millennia. So why couldn't there be giants, man?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's dragons as well. You and I have talked about dragons.
I'm gonna link both of you to a 6-hour presentation on the case for genetic giants in the world, and it's more than compelling.
Okay.
It's more than compelling.
I'd
Red-headed
love to.
giants.
Oh, all right.
It keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Something about those rangers, man.
yeah. Well,
Some superpowers.
I think the redhead comes from Siberia. So there's been, even Graham Hancock's talked about, there were like cultures of people, like megalithic cultures in those areas in Siberia, and there were large people.
Mega test giants just raging.
Yeah,
Eating humans,
Also,
ripping them in half.
no giganticism, healthy, fully proportionate.
Yeah,
people
that's right.
That
that's
would have
right.
lived till old age. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
They would eat humans like twisties, bro.
Yeah, apparently the Native Americans had fights with them.
Yeah.
And stuff. They explained it in their legends, but they passed it up as myth.
Yeah, also in
Yeah.
in Thailand.
Yeah.
I think it's Thailand or in Vietnam. They have these giant caves and these cave systems that go underwater, and their folklore talks about how there's like 10-foot, 12-foot giants that would live there, and when they would get upset, they'd come and terrorize the people and eat them and go back to their caves.
Gives me chills. Yeah, I mean,
Imagine that.
because the idea of someone 12 feet actually just sounds like the stuff of fantasy, but
12 feet tall. That's two of us.
yeah,
That's so wild.
it's wild. It's wild. And then can you
big
consider
time,
Like, you'd just be like...
can you consider how broad that person would be too?
Yeah,
exactly.
Their
To be
shoulders
12
would be
foot.
6 foot.
Yeah.
You would have to be
Yeah.
proportionate. You can't just
Yeah.
be like our
Yeah.
width and 12 foot. You'd have to be 12 foot and three of us.
They'd
Yep.
have to be like at least 500 kilos, 750 kilos, maybe.
Yeah, big time. And
Volume.
It's bigger than makes
The
Conan
NFL will
Barbarian.
be like, come on, you can be our quarterback. And you quarterback.
The voice from that person will just be like, you think it's a god. You think it's a god.
Thanos, bro.
Yeah.
Now, Jack, I'm so invested in this.
Yeah, bro,
freaking
please
pyramid.
continue, Jack.
Continue, please.
All right. So where do we leave it off? So
Getting to the juicy part.
So
the
here,
top pyramid.
the top pyramid, we got the king and queen level, which is like the very top of that level, which I think even to them, they're kept the most secret ideas. Top of bloodline conflicts is this idea that we are linked to Jesus, the one and only, the Pharaoh who's closest to God, the one emperor, like the true divine layer before reaching the divine. So it's the most divine human level, right?
Right.
And these are the groups of people who, most cases, are not benevolent. They're not nice. They have full malevolence, and they control all the worst control systems below.
Yeah.
They're not even concerned with money at this point. Well, people at the very bottom tier of this level, with the Vatican level here, are not concerned about money at all. They're not.
Only the right at the bottom.
Even the Mason levels at the level below, money's not even a discussion anymore.
Just us.
It's power and divine control, and essentially trying to it's almost getting to
Ascension.
Ascension. It's almost detachment from source because they want to become God itself.
Yes, correct. They want to cut God off.
Yeah, 100%. They do that through controlling human cattle and, yes, feeding on soul energy in many subtle ways.
Can I ask, with relation to that, do they have infinite access to money as well? Is that why money's not an issue? Or are they literally not caring at all
That
about
would make
their
sense.
financial situation?
I need more
and
money,
they're completely focused on
need a
that
loan,
ascension
mate.
side of things from your perspective?
They are. And that's actually a really good question because they are very concerned with ideas of printing money and perpetuating.
Fractional reserve lending systems, sneaky bastards.
Controlling debt. Controlling debt through controlling population.
Exactly.
So money is used as a token of control, and it's a means of perpetuating a system which is they know doesn't work, but it keeps people on that wheel and it keeps things going in their favor. It can keep many levels ignorant. I even think someone like Elon Musk or Zuckerberg probably won't even know what they're actually a part of, But people point the fingers at the corporations. No, they're like the lower strings of the puppet. They are concerned about money. Beyond that, it's not about money anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've got enough money to spend 100 million lifetimes, you know what I mean? When it starts getting at that, it's all about power, control.
Yeah.
How many souls have you captured?
That's it. It's like they're concerned about immortality. I mean, even Google AI experts are concerned about immortality.
Yeah.
But these ones they're very invested in stuff beyond many thousands of years of history that we can even record.
And think about it this way. So let's just say you're on the bottom tier of this rung here.
Mm-hmm.
You've got money, and ultimately your biggest enemy other than more power or influence is time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you... you're not interested in sailing on your yacht to the Maldives. You're not interested in, first class tickets around whatever, whatever obnoxious spending you can do, right? That is so beneath you because at this point it's boring.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What I would agree with wholeheartedly is that you're looking for more life.
Yeah.
And then what do you turn to? You turn to, ironically enough, you turn to the woo. You turn to the relics. You turn to the witchcraft. You turn to the blood rituals. You turn to the things that are so you'd be open and willing to do it because what else is there to do? Your day-to-day is surely so much bigger than take the kids to school and go to work and, you're just thinking about more.
If you can buy 100
Self-involved.
Lamborghini Uroses, then
Yeah, it's irrelevant. Like that's
It's
what a
irrelevant.
nothing life to have. You've got so much more than what money can buy. That
Exactly.
you're just everything is boring as fuck. So what do you want to do? You want to ascend. It becomes as an ascension thing, like a godly desire to. Yeah, obviously the whole living longer thing, but then you'd be more open to. And I really mean this, like sacrificial shit, like weird shit. Like people become so beneath you that you wouldn't even look at like a screaming poor child on a sacrificial altar. You'd be like, meh, I don't care.
that's just a
You wouldn't
necessary
even-
thing for them. They're like, all right, well, we've got to appease the Dark Lord here.
Yeah.
Just another sacrifice, another day, another dollar.
The selfishness at that level would be on another level.
Yeah,
like
it's
unparalleled.
And so like this is where all the themes of human trafficking kind of stem from. Is that like these like
Adrenochrome.
and like the uncoverable sources of why this is occurring on a large scale, like and like why it's not like talked about very much.
Yeah, because they can shut it down, and they do shut it down.
Yeah, and I mean,
Epstein's Island.
I
What happened?
don't have. I mean, the Epstein is just one like common idea.
yeah.
It's just so much more. It's gross. It's really gross.
It's disgusting.
But it's about subjugation and control. But I'm not saying. Look, there are groups in these who are actually concerned with the good. Like they are secret societies which are concerned with the good, because they believe in these esoteric ideas, and they want to fight against certain aspects. Apparently, the Merovingians themselves are like very concerned because they were like destroyed by evil groups in the Vatican earlier on. They were concerned about the word of Jesus and stuff like that. And
In the Matrix, was the Merovingian those two brothers in Reloaded?
Oh
yeah.
They were the Merovingians, weren't they?
I can't tell you exactly
That
how they
rings
fit
a
in,
bell.
but they weren't exactly bad guys in it, right?
Yeah,
I
but
think
there were some form of gatekeepers that were trying to get to the guy with the keys to kill him or something. But they ended up killing him. But Neo had met the key maker just in time.
Yeah,
So
I have to watch it again.
yeah,
It's Reloaded.
Reloaded. Yeah,
That's a deep dive.
Oh,
for sure.
that was a.
Yeah.
Now I'm super
I
curious.
love the
But-
Matrix. Bro.
But yeah, aside from that, I even think there's levels of like the Masonic Order which actually are concerned with principle and virtue and things like that. But
I
as you get into high levels, it gets dark.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Emperor Palpatine shit.
Again,
Yeah.
it's because of boredom. Like, what else do you do?
Yeah,
Of course, it gets dark.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not going to get good because then you'd be doing nothing.
yeah,
You'd be sit there going, what a done it. What's
Yeah.
going?
Exactly.
yeah.
Happy boy.
That's it.
Can we go up a level?
Oh, are you ready?
I'm curious.
Are we?
absolutely.
Have you finished with this level, Jack?
Okay, so it all.
I think he's really building context. here.
So building
yeah.
context.
It's good
so,
context, man.
So we the point now sharpens, and the true commander in chief. The buck stops here as far as the human civilization and where it's going stops with the Pindar. So the Pindar is, like I said,
He's the one world government, the one representative. He's the Clash Swap.
He's the one guy that walks in that dark room where you can't see the true faces, and they tell him how he should run the world. Yeah,
That's like Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
When he goes to the
Dude,
next
that felt
guy.
heavy for a second
Yeah.
there. Like,
Yeah.
so even he is the top of this, but he's still the bottom of something else.
Exactly.
He's the
That's
bottom.
so heavy.
He's
Yeah.
the bottom of that pyramid, but
Yeah.
he's the top of this middle
Yeah.
part of the pyramid.
Look, even the Antichrist is like a bishop next to him, right? It's just one aspect.
fuck.
It's one aspect. Look, these are Christian terms given to like potential titles, just to give into a certain figure. That's not good.
Yeah.
Like they're not necessarily Christian terms, but they that's how we understand them.
Do we understand the Pindar to be a singular person?
Could be a little conglomerate, could be one, but it's a very small. As you can see, it's part of a very small tier.
But the head
Just
of that,
above.
the head of there has to be one person that talks to the.
Yeah, who knows?
Could be,
Honestly, who knows? You could walk past him, might walk by him in the street. Who knows?
He's probably in a blacked out limo,
Yeah,
Black Hawk helicopters.
yeah.
That guy probably just he has
Yeah.
that guy probably has the ability to just drop a direct energy weapon on my house right now.
He's
bro.
probably just reading a newspaper in a cafe in Switzerland right now.
Lucky we're not
Just like
live,
an
or
old
else they
man.
probably would have direct energy weaponed us.
They're not concerned with destroying everything, or else they would have
Yeah,
already.
true.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, they're gonna kill us. Oh no, they would have done that if they wanted to already.
Mm.
So, yeah. But no, not all hope is lost. So, essentially, this is the one communicator, the emissary between this and the off-world benefactors, the ET. And so, when we move into this realm, we start moving into ideas of myth and legend and stuff, which is like very woo-woo, but in the sense have like pervaded all cultures of mankind, and we've described them and gave them many different names. We're in the realm of demons, ghosts, jinn, asuras in China, the oni, asuras of India, and then you got the oni of Japan. These are all like aspects of this like aspects of these guys, especially in the center, who no longer essentially need bodies. For those who don't know about the demiurge is the god in the Gnostic faith who is not actually God, but a demon who's convinced us he's God. And that's why the world is terrible. And we have to try and find true God. So,
true that.
Yeah. And so, but as we know it, like the tipping point of the negative and worst aspects of the control systems is this character called Satan, who is not exactly the Christian Satan, or like could even just be a person. It's a title given to that worst
Satan,
that negative figure, like that true, like this is the one who controls a lot of the worst parts of human subjugation and bounding people to material matter. They're very concerned with keeping you in a body, not ascending. So that's the main thing. But here we also get into the ET realms, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of these. So we got Enki and Enlil, who those who don't know, they're the two Sumerian gods, probably the oldest pantheon of gods in the Middle East and Mesopotamia, who didn't necessarily agree. So Enlil is a god of storms. He was once the king of gods before Marduk, and he controlled everything with an iron fist. He was very concerned with order. Had a very strong stake in keeping humans down, was very pissed off with humans because they were overpopulating, and he just, quote unquote, hated the sounds of them mating. And so he wanted to kill them. So he wanted to kill them all. He wanted to kill them all. That's actually written down. God, and damn. So yeah,
he the sound of your parents banging constantly, like God,
yeah,
Jesus,
yeah,
stop it,
stop it, just tired of this rabble. And so he sent storms, sent the Great Flood, sent these many different aspects that we've talked about, in the Younger Dryas and all that kind of stuff.
Yep. So he caused climate change.
Yeah, it's going to happen anyway.
Fucking dog.
But I think he would have shifted the poles of the Earth or something.
Superpowers, bro.
Yeah, so stuff that we're looking into in science now, and that we could possibly, conceivably even do, like weather modification, all that kind of stuff. It's all very into
and
it.
we're just at the basics of it.
Yeah, Billy Carson talks all day about this stuff.
That's right, yeah.
But Enki is the benevolent side of Enlil. He's the brother, and he actually saw a spark of divine and beauty in humans. And at the very last second,
I bet you a woman did that.
I think a woman did.
100%.
Women have the power to do that, bro.
So Enki's child was a half-human demigod called Gilgamesh. We've heard of Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was a giant too, so that's interesting. So Enki saw the good in man and gave us a gift that we are not quite aware of, but it was enough to piss off Enlil to the point where they will become stronger than us. And this is not good.
See, this is what I was saying before, man.
Yeah.
We've got this untapped something, and it's just this is why these, like, it filters down into control and, like, we're suppressing our actual ability.
Yeah.
This is that origination from that ability.
Yep.
Whatever it is.
Yep.
I wish I could put my finger on it and articulate it, but like there's something.
I think it has something to do with pineal. It has something to do with pineal.
Yeah.
I think
definitely, because ayahuasca showed me what it was like to be a part of the hive mind. And the queen's frequency that she emits is very alluring, and you will do anything for the queen, but you have to give up your free will. And she was trying to entice me to give up my free will, and I'm just like, fuck, that's weird as fuck, man. I like being a human. I like doing whatever the fuck I want, when I want, if I want. You don't have that option in a hive mind. Then it got me thinking, because ayahuasca was showing me how many times the human civilization has just fucking came and gone, and then how powerful and like all over the galaxies there is hive mind consciousness. Because it's really easy to control, because you've got the head of it that controls everything. It's very easy to control, but humans aren't easy to control. And that's why we're the most interesting.
I reckon it's going down to the fact that we were given this power to ascend. Like to trend, like
Definitely,
the whole
definitely.
thing here is that we are being suppressed, so we kind of ascend and break through this layer.
Yeah.
Because this is the layer that really is the terrifying, true terrifying layer of like the negativity of the of the world and the energy all really comes to a head here.
It does.
And if we are able to ascend and break away from this, that is the power. The power is to be able to do that. So
Dead set. And look, all the characters here, a lot of them are actually quite neutral as well. They're not all like satanic figures. Like you've got obviously you've got like Enki for one. But you've also got certain aspects such as the soul of mind, animal, materials. Like these are aspects of evolution, right there on the right. And it's like they're bound to 3D matter, but they're not the true essence of reality. Like they'll occur in a certain way, they'll occur in reality, but they're not the final say in where we go. Like, but they're one of the trappings. It's like we're stuck in bodies, or bodies have to evolve. They grow old and die. Those kinds of things.
Yeah, fungi.
Yeah.
It's funny. This is actually made up of not just people or beings, but actual systems.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just reading like the Council of Light, which is I've heard about a bunch of times, which is weird to even see it on this list here.
Dude, karma's in there.
Just the fact of karma, common law.
Yeah.
You know?
Systems of law and enslavement.
Yeah. And
I'm surprised
pay your
I'm not seeing
taxes.
maybe I'm missing it, but like the Akashic records, like I would feel that would exist in this.
I reckon the Akashic Records is the next level up.
Maybe.
I think because at this point we have some very high level. These are some very high level characters here.
This is like the big boss level, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the game, you got to get past this to actually to win the game.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah,
and I'm guessing that the next part of the pyramid.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it, and it also means that in a positive sense too, because you've also got the prophets, those heroes on the top right as well. So at some point, you almost have to go beyond your teacher and your sensei. Like the Buddha says, if you find the Buddha in the path, kill him. If you find the Buddha in the path, kill him, because I'm not the true source. I'm just there to guide you. Eventually, you got to drop me off, and you got to keep going.
Yeah,
that's Thoth will say that as well. Yeah, and so that's this level is like high level, but most won't actually cross through it because one, they become one of the dark ones, like either one of these absorbed into demons or like.
Well, that's what they're trying to do to you.
Yeah.
You got to steer past that to get to the top.
Yeah, the power is enticing.
Yeah, it's
we're
enticing.
weak men.
Of
this
course.
is like the Lord of the Rings thing. Like men were the ones weakest to it.
Exactly.
Right before he's ever to throw it in, he's like, no.
Yeah.
Mine.
Yeah.
Crazy. And so like in the center here, we have some very dark extra-dimensional entities. And for instance, Nathan, the Chimera is apparently a giant octopus tentacle shadow creature that feeds on the negative souls of cities. Feeds on negative energy.
Oh, so Melbourne's fucking giving it plenty of power then.
Yeah, cities are meant to be the kind of stronghold of like these evil cabals. Like that's where you see all the most drug dependency, the most lies, the most
pharmaceutical job dependency as well.
Yeah,
that's the big one these days.
Yeah, it's the heart of the beast. Cities. I mean, we see it in movies enough. Scary cities like New York.
Humor me, but even in again, this is predictive programming, but isn't in season, I want to say 2 or 3 of Stranger Things, there's that giant
demon,
the
octopus octagon thing that broke through another dimension.
Well, right next to Demiurge or Demigorgon.
Yeah, it was called the Demigorgon. That's right.
The Demigorgon. That's
season 1.
I think that's why I'm saying like this was called maybe they didn't name it, but it could be the Chimera kind of thing.
Oh, very linked. Very linked.
Yeah.
Right.
Stranger Things.
So I mean,
children's show, by the way. That's a kids show. 10-year-olds were watching Stranger Things.
Jesus, it's pretty full on.
Yeah.
Did you guys remember
Satanic
that
as
show
fuck, bro.
that was on Netflix and it got cancelled very quickly? I'm surprised they even let it happen. But there was this show called I don't know, it was about weed essentially, and it was like a sitcom style Netflix show.
Yeah.
And they were in an art class and they start this animation. So this like teacher is like, what are you painting? And she's like, well, and then it cuts to this, I don't know, maybe 2-minute animated story about what the actual world is, like how it works, how, we are just essentially a part of this conveyor belt system of like contracts and, we're actually feeding this bigger beast, this bigger system, and that we're actually all being suppressed. And it literally explains everything we've been talking about here. And I'm always fascinated because I see this clip being posted on X all the time. People are like, hey, remember that time they just said it? They said the thing that is happening on a Netflix show, and people and they cancelled. They fucked that show right off immediately.
Can you link
Was
that
it a
to me?
cartoon show or was it?
I'll try and find it.
Was it a cartoon or was it?
You guys continue your chat. I'll
Please,
disappear for a second.
please link that to me.
We'll play it now. Like it's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Sick.
I was going to say let's take a quick break.
Yep.
It's 1 hour in, and then we'll come back to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good. This is a cliffhanger. It's good.
Yeah, beautiful.
Sounds good. So, you guys seen Hellraiser?
Yes.
The Xenobites?
Yes.
Yep. So, people who've gone to the very, very depth of darkness and reached and done many rituals to achieve dark power, and they don't care about pleasure anymore
It's
or
all pain.
money and stuff. It is about how much can I feel and experience and take from without actually being attached to source anymore.
Ah.
Yeah.
So cut the connection to source and try to make your own version of source.
The extreme of greed, the extreme of lust, the extreme of a lot of these things that are considered, cardinal sins, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, ascended masters, but not in a good way. And so the very center in its entirety comprises the idea of detachment from source. And so they're no longer do they feed off the good from God, but from trying to take it from others. That's literally the bottom line. So I'm in frame there. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
So Josh was saying, is there any good here? And like just before, it's good you keep bringing that back because I don't want to make this a dark thing, but I'm saying there's a lot of moral grays here. Like nothing is wholly good or bad, but there's some actors who've kind of gone astray. It's illusion. Even these powerful alien figures we described are in this kind of living in illusion. They don't understand the true nature of things. And so beyond this pyramid, this confirms there's a confirmation of something greater.
Is it time to scroll up?
We haven't even gone to the top, and I got to chime in real quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've tried to articulate so many times, all of the research that I've ever done on this topic to somebody who doesn't necessarily spend their time doing this, and I start with this whole okay, once you start here, then you go here, and then you find out there's something over there. And it's a way bigger thing than you'd imagine. And you start looking at the nuts and bolts of things, and then you look at the spirituality of things, then you look at the higher extra dimensional parts of things. And that's probably where I end with my spiel, right? I say 4 things. But Jack, in this conversation, this has been such a good articulation of truly how big this picture is. It's not just UFOs and the craft. That is such a nothing tiny blip portion of truly what is the non-tangible explanations of the rest of this world.
Yep.
I genuinely everybody's it's categorically and empirically impossible for us to be it, right? Well, yeah, no shit. But there's not just it in the the third realm of physicality and tangibility, right? It's all this.
Yep.
There's just so much more out there. Now, again,
So much more.
It's the belief system. How much are you willing to accept? How much are you willing to believe? And it comes down to, I think, when you introduce a topic to anybody, let's just say 1 + 1 = 1. Before that, you didn't believe it because you didn't know it. But then someone introduced it to you, and maybe you question it. Maybe you go, is it though? But then as far as you're concerned, you use your own knowledge, your own experience. You're convinced by your peers. You hear it on repetition is also going down the path here. And then what happens with all of those combined? Belief. Now you start to get convinced, right? That's all it really takes. It's time. It's time and in willingness to be invested in this before you start to. Yeah, you need that poster in here somewhere, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to have it. In the background.
You know what I have in my office? I've got the sports model drawing of Bob Lazar's craft that he worked on, signed by Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You
That's
mentioned
boss.
that.
Yeah,
So
sick. I love it.
Sports model.
It's one of my favorite things that I own.
That's sick.
But nonetheless, it's truly just how. Let's just say this hypothetical person you're introducing this topic to.
Yeah.
They are going to be steadfast, not believing, because they just haven't spent time in it. Spend a little bit of time in it, you get curious, because it's human curiosity is the thing that we can't escape. We're all very curious creatures.
Yeah.
Variations of how much on a scale, sure, but nonetheless, even at the bottom end, we want to know things.
Of course.
So if your willingness, even on the bottom end, to be a curious person, to find out a little bit more, something any part of this is interesting, then you start, okay, now I've got the inspiration and motivation to start looking. Then you start. And there's no going back.
There's none.
Like
This is like 1,000 hours of research combined into one photo that we have to zoom in.
and
Yeah.
even
It's like
then there's 10 more thousand
Exactly.
with each thing that has its own 10,000 hours
Yeah,
to figure
yeah,
out
yeah.
what is to get to the bottom of it. It's
Yeah,
wild.
I'd love to give a shout out to the artist, but I just forgot his name of this.
We'll
But
find
he
it.
has a full 1.5 hour explanation of his perspective of why he chose these. But yeah,
Hold up. There's a video on this?
a whole video on this.
Oh, you are sending that to us.
yeah, absolutely,
Please.
absolutely. It's on. Yeah, it's on Rumble. This guy's just put together.
What a sick.
Is this actually Rumble?
Oh no, this is just like someone.
No,
uploaded it.
this is just Internet Archive.
I've been waiting for an excuse to go to Rumble. I feel like it's the Facebook that was to MySpace. No one's really catching on to it. It's kind of like where all the tinfoils and the right wingers go. Like that's as far as
it's where they
it
go when they
looks.
get banned. Because like I've got
in its
this
awkward
on
stage.
Rumble. It's just no one really watches this compared to YouTube.
It's in its awkward stage. At the
Yeah,
moment.
exactly. Are we done with this one? Can we scroll up or?
Yeah, look, honestly, you could spend years on this because final thing I like to mention, like I said, you got the sages like Hermes Trismegistus,
Yep.
all those characters, Thoth, all those like could be ET, could be human, could be both type characters.
Yeah,
Ascended Masters, Buddha, all those Christ. Notice how they're very close to the dark circle. Like you could go either way. They're almost linked in some strange way.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's sticking out to me the
Yeah.
most is that smack bang in the middle is extra dimensional.
Yeah.
Entities. Extra
That
dimensional.
because,
dimensional,
and
yeah.
I would actually argue that they go both ways. They're benevolent as much as malevolent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So famously, Dr. Stephen Greer has got this sort of CE5 protocol.
Yeah.
So you know the close encounters scale.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of coined this fifth term is when instead of you see them or you're visited by them, it's like you actually call them, like you bring them into reality. So that's the number 5. And he went around
Can you just
doing.
explain for the audience what the encountered levels are and what they include?
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yes, that is actually a really good
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Now you're going to probably have to help me on this because
Yeah.
I've said it 10,000 times,
Yeah.
but I'm also fucking
Yeah.
so much information in my brain that I'm like,
Yep.
what do I sift out? So CE1 is sight, like you just see them.
Sea aliens, yep. Or
Yeah.
craft.
Craft is just see. CE2 is like being physically affected by them. So if it lands and you are, burnt by it or you get radiation poisoning or whatever. Close encounters of the third kind is when you are visited, like quite literally like meet them.
Yep.
The fourth kind is when you're taken. And the fifth kind is now, and again, this is like, it's a catch and release, right? So fourth is you go with them, and
Yeah.
5 is you bring them to you. So I think I got that all right.
Yeah, you did. You did nailed it. Yeah,
yeah.
because I was unsure what close encounter of the second kind was again, but we all know
Yeah.
the third kind from the movie Spielberg.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's and there's a lot of. So do you know who? I know you know, but do you
Yeah.
guys know who Dr. Gary Nolan is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is the guy people are going to for the second kind. There's all these military personnel that have gotten outrageously sick or died because of their close encounter.
Oh wow, the
Yeah,
radiation
and
poisoning.
that's what that's the angle he's
No
taking.
shit.
So Dr. Gary Nolan, Stanton professor, tenured, like one of the most intelligent human beings on the planet, was approached. He was introduced to this topic. He did nothing to do with it. He was a biologist essentially. So he was, and I'm saying that the most, the most entry level of describing him. He's so much more, but nonetheless, his qualifications are why he's he became the go-to guy for this particular situation where, government personnel of any kind, any branch, are essentially dying from an extraterrestrial origin. So, whether they were caught up in something, military, what are they called? Like exercises. And then all of a sudden they see a landing and then they go near it to inspect it. And then they've now got just radiation sickness or they're burned head to toe because it took off and it just fucking sizzled them. These like crazy situations where people have either been maimed or died. Or they've been taken and they've got this crazy story and then they've found things in their bodies and, now Gary Nolan's the go-to guy to be like, all right, figure this out. Oh, brain impairments. So like full on, just they've turned into a different person or they've, lost the ability to just have motor cortex skills, from not necessarily any injury, but just all of a sudden something happened here and then they can't move. Crazy shit. So, yeah. Why did I start that again? I forgot. We were saying, you were saying
encounters.
Close encounters of the second kind. That's right. Yeah. So, the second kind is definitely like something that, and this, okay, sorry, hear me out. TED Talk time. So, this links in to the one thing in the last 3 years, my go-to, hey, if you don't believe in this subject, other people really do. And it goes as high as Congress. And now, if you don't know how US government works, to some degree, I don't know it fully, but I know enough to amble through this. But US Congress is the last step before the president, essentially. And what they are is the body that decides essentially where any spending happens, how the budget looks. They have to know everything. And why this is becoming more public, and why whistleblowers are going to Congress, and why not just whistleblowers, but why the Congress is going after these 3-letter agencies in the military, is because they've realized that every dollar has to go through them, but there's trillions of dollars missing. And they're like, hold on. Why is anyone getting the right to hide anything from us? We are the gatekeeper here. Exactly. And yet there's so much money that's just like black budget disappearing. Now, the term black budget, for those that don't know, black budget is essentially a off the table, as you say, clandestine. Am I saying that right? Right.
Clandestine.
Clandestine. Yeah. Clandestine. The sizable amount of money that's sort of just like written off. And usually it goes to private military contractors.
It's okay.
Yeah. Shell companies within shell companies within shell companies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's just no paper trail. There's just none.
Yeah.
It's gone. Yep. And famously,
there'll be another distraction tomorrow to distract you from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Donald
easy.
Rumsfeld on the 10th of September 2001
neocon warmonger
comes out on as a press conference, and he's like, "Hey, by the way, we're missing $3 trillion." Next minute, the next day, we have 9/11.
Yeah.
And the spot in the Pentagon that had all of the papers and the paper trails was hit by a plane.
Yeah.
The next day. Oh, well, I guess we can't look that up anymore.
Case closed, guys.
Case
what
closed.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
There's heaps of that stuff.
Yeah, it's wild. So anyway, so to what I was getting at, like the essential, the thing that I go to try and convince people, like, okay, yes, you don't necessarily believe. That's fine. But people way bigger than you are now becoming significantly more convinced, because they realize that it's not even like I need to find a spacecraft. It's I'm looking over here, following the breadcrumbs, and then I find the UFO topic. Because there's multiple ways into finding the truth. And I guess the most grounded, real, like, you think to your government is like, oh, well, we have to do what they say, and they're the lawmakers. So naturally, people are just like, what they say to some degree, to 0 degree, to 1% degree is truthful and right. Okay, so even if it's 1%, barely 1%, but nonetheless, that is the idea of the government. Is like when they start to take things seriously, then you naturally go, oh, that's real. It's like if the UFO phenomenon became a part of like news articles and news cycles, and it became a thing, then it would become like accepted, right? So, until it's truly accepted by the higher powers that you trust, you're not going to really give it too much credence. Yeah. So agreed. that is the thing that's happening right now.
David Grush.
Yes.
Correct. So now I'm trying to tell people who don't believe, I'm like, oh, hold on. Now those people are giving a shit. Those people are looking at the breadcrumbs, but they're doing it in a way where it's like, it's terminology that everyone switches off, and they hear black budget this and Congress that. They're like, oh, government politics, blah, go away.
It's all right. They got
if you pay even a tiny bit of attention, that is the tangibility to this topic we're looking for. That is the that's the link that we're looking for, is when the slightly higher than us powers that represent the people are now looking for these, what is this money being spent on? Why is it military contractors like Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, Skunk Works specifically? What are they doing with this money? And famously, if you just delve into this topic a little bit, you find out that like Roswell, who's got the craft? Lockheed.
Yeah.
Like Lockheed took that. Why don't we give these? So like the military
doesn't... Their stock is gone exponential in the last week.
Even in this like bleeding. Yeah.
It's going up.
Yeah.
That
I
Lockheed
saw
and
this.
AM,
It's literally green.
Nvidia.
Like, it's just
yeah,
fucking.
Lockheed and Nvidia is just skyrocketing.
Of course, Nvidia.
I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Lockheed's using Nvidia GPUs,
Yeah,
so they both
yeah.
sky, and then everyone else is just crashing.
Did you
Yeah.
see that Warren Buffett sold like half of his Apple stock? He's got cash of $75 billion in
Just
like stock now. Cash.
rolling. With
He sold it
75
for
billion.
cash. And it's like, why would Warren Buffett sell half of one of arguably the highest market capped companies on the planet? Like, why would you do
It's
anything
going to be
like that?
buffet time for him, cuz.
Insider knowledge.
Yeah. It's not just
100.
insider knowledge, but it's like, is this World War III? Is this like,
Yeah.
get your cash assets, get your shit out of stocks, because that's going to crash.
Yeah.
As soon as World War III starts, that crashes. You don't have anything left. So you pull that fucking money out and then you go into your little bunker and you make your bed full of money and you lie there and just pray. Like, that is the only... Like, I know that sounds crazy, but we are on the verge. Like, this whole... I know we're getting off topic for aliens and stuff, but 2 seconds. Like, Iran and the Israel conflict and
Yeah,
what the
bro.
Israel conflict...
It's World
will
War III coming
will
up,
pull
bro.
into... For America's link to Israel and their pledge to Israel... That's going to pull us into it, the Commonwealth into it. It's like,
Yeah.
this is World War III. And then you've got up here, I saw before, there was BRICS, like the UN versus BRICS. Then who do you think we're fighting? It's all of BRICS.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I say fighting, but I feel like any kind of war has been orchestrated from the beginning. It's
I
part,
think
of, it's part of a master
BRICS
plan.
and the UN have
It's a
already
master
done
plan.
deals.
This is the
Master plan.
depopulation.
Why do you
that I'm
think
thinking
Russia's
of.
got to annex half of Ukraine? Because that was probably their deal. They go, all right, we'll let you annex Ukraine, whatever. We'll see how much you get away with. And then China's probably going to try to do the same thing to Taiwan.
It's mob activities.
And there's mob activities. They go, all right, well, you're gonna do this and this, but as a result of doing this and this, we'll allow you to have this.
Meanwhile,
It's all just like
Meanwhile, we're all happy patriots.
yeah.
It's all,
The next thing,
It's all under the table.
the
deals.
next thing, bro.
Yeah. But yeah. It's crazy.
Let's go
Crazy
into
shit.
that.
It is crazy.
Let's go.
But, all right.
Are we going?
Gotcha.
But look,
Is
we're
it
getting,
time?
we're getting. Yeah. Look, are you ready for this?
Fuck it.
I am ready, bro.
Are you ready for this?
Let's get ready for this.
Josh was asking if there's a silver lining to all this discussion right
Please
before
give
we
me
right,
something
right,
to
as,
do.
right as we're
Yeah.
talking right as we're talking about World War III and stuff like that. But it's more. This is really the sense that everything we've just discussed, everything we've just explained, is complete illusion. It's all bullshit in the end, because in the end, there's only true principle. Detachment from source is all just a hierarchy of scheming and ignorance. Even at the highest levels, that means nothing. Even the idea of UFO craft is just old news. Even that's just like ancient tech, I think.
Yeah,
I
it could
agree.
be.
Yeah, that's just ancient. It's literally like an iPhone to some.
Yeah,
it's not that big
first
a deal.
gen iPhone too.
Yeah,
They've
but-
already
but-
figured out anti-gravity.
Yeah,
They've already
yeah.
done it. They're like, yeah, cool, we did it. Like the TR380B or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Oh, the thing that Commander Fravor chased. I think that's probably old now.
Yeah, the Tic Tac.
Tic Tac.
Yeah. That's like a Datsun from the 80s.
Yeah, yeah. That was yeah.
Whatever.
Well, the sports model's like antiquated by the sounds of it. Too.
Literally.
They probably
Yeah.
drive it around like an old Mustang, bro.
Yeah.
Whoever's got
Imagine
it.
if like all of the UFOs, like there was brands of them, like they're actually got some sort of like capitalistic.
Datsons and Rovers. And
Yeah,
all
bad.
the old
And they're
shit.
just driving a piece of shit like second-hand spaceship.
There's a market on the black
fucking
web,
crashed
on the
this
dark web
goddamn
for that.
planet.
Yeah.
From all the sightings,
My radiator blew and I'm on fucking Earth.
dude.
Damn it.
From all the
God damn, I need an
recordings,
interspace radiator now.
from all the recordings of the sightings, some of them look ridiculous. There's so many of them.
They're all different
too.
types. Some are
Yeah.
shaped like dumbbells.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
some are shaped like just like look like asteroids, but like
Yeah.
long, oblong kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My favorite ones are the big ones. Like I know that sounds ridiculous, but like the ones that are like that are described as like football field sizes, like
yeah.
obnoxiously big,
Like
like,
the-
city size.
like Lost in Paradise on the
Yeah.
Fifth Element.
There's a video that I came across on X, and I mean, okay, it's hard to believe anything these days with video, but it looked pretty good. And as a guy who works in video, like I feel like I can spot bullshit pretty well. And it is like a Death Star sized and shaped.
fuck.
It was a big triangle. And you watch it, this guy's filming from like the highway, and that's what made it look real.
Planet
It's like this
Destroyer.
guy's literally filming. You can see the traffic passing him on the below it, and he's filming the clouds.
That's
And it's a
hectic.
really dark day, and you can sort of see something in the clouds quite a distance away. But when you end up seeing it is when it takes off, like the light in the clouds flashes, so you see the size and shape of it, which is this truly like the side profile of the Death Star, and you just see it fucking just bolt, just disappear, and mate, like it's
That's
I
crazy.
get giddy. I'm like, oh,
What's
can I
going on
have
here?
one? Can you take me with you? Let me go on a tour,
I
bro.
want to fly that thing. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They'll probably have to anal probe you, bro.
Man, I'm on my roof, flashlight, waving my flashlight, asshole up. Come on, boys.
Do what you need to do to me. I don't care anymore.
That's the issue. It's like, you're not meant to like this. What the fuck?
We don't need the semen sample yet,
Yeah.
Nathan. Calm down.
Take it easy, Nathan.
I'm here. I'm committing to
Take it
this.
down.
Even-
I'm at my prime.
Even they're like, whoa, man, foreplay at least. We get to know you.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too funny.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Shall we go up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's
Yeah,
go
I'm
up.
so excited.
All right.
man.
So as opposed from detachment from source, we start moving into the only pyramid there is. And look, this really gets into the angelic realm. So
My favorite
all the core
realm.
religions, all the very essences of spirit and oneness with everything, the universe, all of it comes from a single source. Some even describe that maybe the really advanced peoples of the ancient races of Atlantis probably believed in a single world religion, probably closest to something like this, the Logos, like the pure word. Even the words, hieroglyphs written on like the most ancient stones in Egypt are kind of like a perversion of the true word. You don't actually hearing it is a totally different thing. So we all those secrets that were housed, they were spoken, nothing was written. And all that pertains to the universal principles of the world and reality. And the angels themselves are probably like ultimate ET, honestly. Like they intersect, they're embodiments of divine principles such as cause and effect, the true virtues, the powers, the true essence that God is in this world and will never leave. Like everything else is just ignorance. Like all this stuff about darkness, all this stuff about war, literally blips, because they're bound to time. These are not even bound to time. These is just the eternal. Like there's no
Everlasting.
even calling it eternal is actually
time.
an insult.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Is.
yeah. Like there's nothing.
Isness.
When you say eternal or you say infinite, those are too small. Too small. Like you're not actually describing shit.
We don't know. We don't have the words.
Yeah, no, because even our scientists now are like, we can calculate infinities. And it's like, okay, you're just answering your question.
Yeah.
You can't. So he who controls the Grail controls the world. So this is the highest order as a human. If you're trying to you're trying to create the Philosopher's Stone, the Holy Grail. These are symbols that once you've ascended past the bodily experience, you can go beyond into the realm of the angels. And this is where everything is good. And it's the Holy Trinity. It's everything we've ever hoped and dreamed and thought of as a world. It's our true essence. And there are levels even within this, like kind of like in a Dante's Inferno type thing. Once he's been through all the hells that we've just described below, you start moving into Paradiso, the heaven.
Paradise.
Well, you've got the third triad, the
Paradiso.
second triad, and the first.
Yep.
So literally they are tiered there.
Yeah, and look, even on that very lowest level there, the angels, archangels. If you guys have read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean, he describes the 7 lords, and these are like potentially would have been mortal at some point, but they are literally the controllers of cycles. Like they are 7, and one of them literally controls all physical matter in the universe. And he's not even close to the top of like the chain, the food chain.
That's some fucking Thanos
Heavy shit,
Yeah.
bro.
stones, bro.
Yeah.
That's
heavy
crazy.
fucking
So
shit.
all the Marvel stuff, the Eternals and all that kind of stuff, or even Galactus is inspired by some of these like larger esoteric ideas.
Definitely.
Because even them, the buck doesn't stop there. It kind of stops at the top here.
It kind of makes sense because, like, if anybody who's into like horror movies, for example, I was on that just below this, that sort of demon and Enki and Elias or whatever his name is, Enlil, So you might have seen that like Baal was there, and like Boobazol and like there's all these like known in horror films like The Conjuring and shit. They use Baal.
Beelzebub, Paimon, Asmod, Magog, Baal, Azeroth.
Yeah, literally, like I'm pretty sure Baal is literally the that franchise called The Nun.
Yeah,
That's Baal.
yeah. Baal's odd because Baal is a Phoenician god, right? Like in Middle East, and the reason why he's linked to satanic ideas is that he was the one where an entire civilization of people were concerned with child sacrifice. And so Baal is like this, like represents like a brutal archaic
Sacrificial.
god worship type thing.
Yep.
And it's a complete ignorance of the true nature of like sacrifice. Like sacrifice is not literally flesh and blood. Like it's about losing the body to get to the next level. It's not about hurting. It's not about hurting the body.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Whereas they thrive on that, and that's energy for them.
Yep. Yeah.
God, we are just such a blip in this. Like, we are nothing. Like, this makes you feel like truly insignificant.
It just makes me want to be a better person, to be honest. And going through this just makes me want to be the best version of myself and just like work my way to the.
Again, but that's not. Here, the irony is this: it's not altruistic anymore because you've got a motive. And the motive is not because you want to just find peace and divinity and like, oh, I'm going to be a good person. It's like, how do I escape the evil that is everything else?
Well, it's not even that.
It's like,
no, there's no evil. It's only just ignorance because it's just not knowing that really there is. I actually don't feel small at all when I look at this. Like I realize that me as someone is actually at the same time existent but also non-existent.
I am.
There's only the true. That's all there is. Exactly. So it's like,
do I embody this in my life? And just work on that. It's like, am I an agent of light or am I an agent of darkness?
Well, it's
and like, who am I feeding? Am I feeding the light or am I feeding the darkness? Just on a daily.
Well, here's the crazy thing: is that on an infinite amount of cycles until you reach the source, you'll probably be everyone and every single thing until you reach that. So at some point, you'll also be that dark brother, like that satanic. Maybe you will be.
Maybe you have been.
Maybe you have. Maybe you have been. And this is your penance to try and be a
make
better
up
person
for it.
after
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So, look, if you're not spiritual, this idea sounds ridiculous and absurd, but it's like if you think spirit is not lost, you're going to go somewhere and you're going to be in many bodies till you get to
So would you say that the dark powers they want people to be atheists? Because in a sense, atheism is feeding the dark energy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because you're cutting yourself off from source as a result.
Well, yeah, and a lot of these people end up thinking they are, in effect, some sort of god
themselves.
Yeah.
I often find myself really torn here because, like, if there was a place I could go to really flesh out this level of spirituality and have like a mentor for it, right? The same way people go to church on Sunday. Like that's their definition of what this mentorship is for religious spirituality and a higher power. But I just don't conform to Christianity. I don't conform to any of the major religions on earth. I just don't. I just can't. I feel like they're archaic. I feel like they're just sort of like written by a guy who thought the earth was flat, fucking 3,000 years ago. Like what could you possibly know about the earth that the world around you that makes you the beacon of my ideology 3,000 years later? So I just have a huge level of skepticism for it. But I've always really wanted to be more spiritual because I do sit here and I inwardly listen to you and go, fuck, I do identify with like atheism because I don't identify with any of the other religions because I almost feel like I'm better than them because they're stupid and they have terrible ideologies on both ends. Like Christianity has the evilness that, some sects of the Muslim has and the Judaism have and fucking, name the place. I'm sure there's some shittiness into it.
Well, there's definitely dark energy feeding off those major religions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the
There's
top of those major religions, well, you got the Vatican on that over here.
They are. They've manipulated the idea for other means. The fact that all the religions are split is ignorance.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because they all come from a similar source. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, I did read something somewhere that religion was actually placed on Earth like as a population control mechanism, like truly.
Yeah,
and control in the way of segregation.
Exactly.
Like purposeful. So that's interesting. I always thought it was geographical. Like the reason why we have accents, the reason why we look a specific way where we're born, the reason why we believe what we believe is because of just where you landed when your parents conceived you. Like that truly is like your environmental
upbringing.
Yeah, your environmental why am I missing this word? It's such a normal word.
Yeah.
Influence. Fuck, that's the second time I forgot that word.
Influence. Yeah.
Influence. It's just environmental influence. Like it is. That is what I always put this down to. I'm like, your religion is not your religion. It's the religion you were just around. Like otherwise, if you were born, if you were like you look at a Christian, devout Christian that was raised in Melbourne, if that same person was just born in the Middle East, you wouldn't be Christian. It's because of where you are.
Yeah.
So like your belief system's just it's only because of that. It can't be anything else.
Environmental factors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So religion in itself makes no sense to me because everyone thinks they're right, but everyone would be the other side just on one decision where you were landed.
We went to a Catholic school. So, you know, like, for example, me, I was baptized Greek Orthodox and then my mum's Hindu. So I was already questioning that. And then I went to a Catholic school and like I learned about Jesus and, you know, all the Catholic stuff.
Yep.
And I was always getting kicked out of religion class because I was questioning the teacher and like plot holes galore. But that's what enabled me to kind of like take on spirituality as a result of having, you know, a decent amount of knowledge in quite a few religions and being like, okay, they do mean well. There's some good information in all of them, but there seems to be a massive knowledge suppression happening within all those religions.
Yeah, and for the very point that we described, that there are a small number of people who found a way to manipulate and control people through the destroying the message, probably just maybe
inverting the message for the dark forces.
Exactly, or just ignorant forces, really, or just not knowing really how to actually look after people and just causing a mess of it. Look, I mean, it's funny that the true one world religion thing is spookily mentioned in the Bible, in the Tower of Babel, that we all spoke one language.
And then they didn't want that anymore, and then they got rid
Take
of
that what you will. I even think that might have been like Enlil, just going like, nah.
Yeah. That's deep. And then it could like now English is the major religion of the not religion, sorry, my bad.
Probably
language of the world.
It's linked to a way of thinking. It's a globalized way of thinking.
Yeah,
English.
And every single country has English as their second language now.
Yep.
So I guess the language that they had at the top of the Tower of Babel was. Now we've got English.
Yeah,
so everyone will learn English. Everyone will unite globalistically because of English.
Yeah,
and you know, we'll wonder what's going to happen in our lifetimes, man.
I think it's probably the cure to all this like war stuff. It's like this idea that, you know, that's just like me. Like, why would I?
Yeah.
I don't want to fight.
We can communicate.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah. I don't want there to be a World War III. You know, like I don't know what's going on at the moment with Iran and Israel and.
We always get a few scares here and there.
But I always feel like they have to have fear coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what seems to always be around. There's always something to be fearful, and people will talk about it. And if it's Trump nearly getting assassinated, or Kamala Harris, or the US election, that's going to be a major big thing. And if that causes America to fall into a civil war, like no one inherently wants those things to happen. But it's almost like a human fallibility. Like we go into our lower chakras. We go to our root base energies and, you know, feed off the reptilian mind essentially. Yeah,
and I'm actually gonna one-up you on that.
Yeah,
and say that, you know, the whole thing about the reason why we fight, why everything's kind of messed up, is that it's human
nature.
Human nature. I think that's all been a total psyop.
You reckon?
Yep. I think you and me, like your general based instincts as a human is
good.
How can I give to the community? How can the community respect me for it?
True.
If those things are satisfied and you have food, water, shelter, like why would you want to fight and kill?
Yeah. There's no need.
There's no need. This is aside from purely survival situations. Let's say we're on a deserted island and there's only a few rations left.
Yeah.
Or crimes of passion. Totally separate thing. These aren't schemes. Like these aren't scheming to hurt others.
Yep.
These are scenarios where things have got desperate. Things have become very desperate.
Yep.
And it's about survival. But when it's not about survival, when clearly all of us can drive a car and feed ourselves, we're not scheming to hurt each other. In fact, I think we're
trying to bring each other up.
Yeah, we are. We are. And I think it's the powers that be that have this kind of simulated idea of scarcity. Like, why the hell are we like burning ourselves out for $50,000 a year when there's trillions of dollars in circulation and nothing really has any true monetary value in a capitalistic sense?
Yeah.
Like,
so true.
If you got the resources, you can build it. Like, It's just you got an economy that says
Well,
no.
if you have the want, you can do it.
You could do it,
But they don't want to.
Yeah,
Then they won't.
It's like,
Yeah.
check me, I got a Lambo. It's like, yeah, if you give me the parts and you tell me how to do it, I could pull some knowledge and I get someone to build it. You know,
The guy that
It's
said he
not-
got a Lambo, he's probably renting it for a day.
Yeah, renting it for a day.
just to make a couple reels for it.
It's more the symbol of having
Yeah,
it.
but it's also the US debt clock. It's like,
Yeah.
who do they owe the money to?
yeah,
It's like the whole world owes something like $100 trillion.
Yeah.
Like, who do we owe it to?
Yeah.
If we're the world,
yeah,
who are we paying back?
exactly.
Who are we paying back?
Why is the richest nation in the world borrowing from all these countries?
Yeah.
The
yeah.
poorest countries in the world.
Exactly.
So it's a weird.
All those black budgets, bro.
Yeah, the black budgets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
It's,
need-
it's a cycle of all major.
We need to build a Death Star, guys.